Hi y'all, Connie here. So today I want to show you the linen stitch. It's one of my favorite stitches and you'll actually find it in a lot of my patterns in one variation or another. So let's take a look here. I've got a chain of 12 here. I believe you can use any even number of stitches for this to start out with. So I've got 12 chains here. We're going to skip. I'm going to bring you closer. Focus, much better. All right, we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and we're going to work into the 4th chain from the hook. And when I do the linen stitch, I like to work under this top loop here and the back bump. So just like that. So we're going under the 2 loops there. And I'm just going to do a single crochet in this first one. Okay, well, then we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip 1, so there's our next chain. We're going to skip and we're going to single crochet in the next one. So again, we're going under this top loop and the back one and single crochet. Let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer here. Is that too close? No. Okay. All right, so chain 1, skip 1 right there, and that's the one we're skipping. And we're going to single crochet in the next chain under the top and the back bump there. Just a single crochet. And we're going to do that all the way across. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, and that's our last one. And you should have half. So if you take the number of chains you had, I had 12, and you subtract 2 for your turn here, for your turning chain, subtract 2 and then divide that number in half. So that's 12 minus 2 is 10 divided by 2 is 5. That should be the number of single crochets that you have in your starting row. So we'll go backwards. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets. And then this is our starting chain 3 space, essentially is what that is. So to do our second row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to skip this first single crochet here. So there's the legs, that's the back of the stitch. And we're going to do a single crochet in the chain 1 space. So that's that hole right there. So insert your hook just right into that space and single crochet. Chain 1. Move the squiggly bit over out of your way. Then you're skipping that single crochet right there. They're the legs. And you're going to single crochet in that chain 1 space. So we're going to do that all the way across. Chain 1, skip the single crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and then this last part is, there's your beginning chain 3 that you skipped. We're going to work our last single crochet into that space right there. Okay, so again, chain 2, turn, skip your first single crochet. There are the legs of it right there. Single crochet in your first chain 1 space, and then keep going back and forth all the way across. And you're going to always chain 2 to turn, and then you work into that chain 1 or chain 2 space at the end of your next row. And that's all there is to the linen stitch. It does go by a couple other names. I've heard it called the granite stitch, I think, maybe the moss stitch. And here is why I like working that chain, that starting chain the way I do, is it gives it a nice flat edge, whereas working into it differently kind of makes it wobblier. And another thing to note with the linen stitch, if you work your first couple rows a little bit more snugly than you might normally do, it's probably better that way, because the linen stitch tends to be a little bit looser on your first couple rows. So I try to be mindful of my tension on my first row or 2, and also with my starting chain. I usually do that a little bit more snugly than I would normally would. But once you get those first couple rows down, then you're golden. So that is the linen stitch. Thanks, y'all.